we're now joined by Vikesh Kotecha, who is the founder of the Honestly Good Smoothie company. Welcome, Vikesh. Thank you for joining us today.
Hey, Catherine. Hi, Julia.
Hey.
So apparently you started, or you got an allotment to learn more about the business of growing fruit and vegetables, I guess, and that didn't go quite to plan.
No, I mean, I thought actually it'd be great. So I handed in my notice. I was going to start a smoothie business. Thought I should find out a little bit more about where everything comes from. Went and kind of secured myself a plot and just realized it's a lot more hard work than I imagined. So yeah, it just wasn't for me.
I thought it was really hard to get allotments. I thought there was like a waiting list of years.
Well, I thought so too. And then that's what people had been telling me. And I just called the council. They're like, yeah, come down tomorrow. So I was like, fine. So I headed down. And then I kind of realized you got clear weeds and you got loads of rubbish on it. And I was like, no, it's not going to happen.
Maybe that's why there's availability.
Yeah, maybe I just drew the long straw.
Are you ready to pitch?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
8 minutes.
Great. So I'd like to start by sharing with you my personal smoothie story. So back in 2015, I was suffering from digestion problems, and I turned to store-bought smoothies as a convenient way to increase my fiber intake. So I quickly found, however, they were full of pasteurized apple juice with very little fiber or nutritional value. I ended up blending my own. However, I would have given up had it not been for my mum, who kindly stepped in to prepare them each morning. So blender sales were booming, and I realized not everyone had mums at home blending smoothies, so I spotted the opportunity and decided to hand in my notice, and the Honestly Good Smoothie company was born. So our initial research found there were two key reasons why consumers would choose to blend at home rather than buy store-bought smoothies. First was transparency. Consumers had fallen out of love with these legacy brands on the supermarket shelves and really wanted to know exactly what it was they were putting into their bodies. And second was personalization. So with this abundance now of nutrition information now widely available, everyone feels like they can be their own nutritionist or doctor. However, self-prescribed ingredients are seldom water-soluble, so home blending provides a viable solution. However, home blending creates its own set of problems, which include a lack of preparation time, not knowing whether these homemade concoctions are actually going to taste any good, and ending up with a pile of waste at the end of the week. So this is where we come in. So the Honestly Good Smoothie company deliver all organic, pre-portioned smoothie ingredients right to your door via flexible subscription. So you simply head over to our site, hit get started, choose from green, fruity, vegetable or variety box, customize your subscription from 5 or 10 kits, weekly, fortnightly or monthly delivery, and choose your delivery day too. We use flash frozen, chunky chopped fruit and veg. So we lock in nutritional value, avoid wastage, and you can see exactly what you're blending. And we serve a seasonal weekly menu to keep things interesting. So of course, none of this would be possible without the team. So let me introduce you. So Blake is our head of product development. His background is heading up kitchens for renowned restaurants in London and Melbourne. Alicia is our head of content. So she has over 10 years experience in building strong brand consumer relations for the likes of Red Bull, Skyscanner, and TripAdvisor through awesome content. Milesh and I go back over 10 years, so we were roommates at uni, and his background is asset management in the city, so he's swapping his comfortable city life for chopping fruit and veg as operations director. And there's me on the end, so I have a background in recruitment and HR. So we have a bold vision for the Honestly Good Smoothie company, and it looks a little like this. So low GI, plant-powered products for everyone. Reusable packaging that's free to return, zero waste production process and a carbon neutral business model, 100% transparency from barn to blender, and a data-driven approach. So how big is the market and where's it going? So 5 million households in the UK already have a blender, and every vertical that we cover as a business is also growing too. So to give you a few examples, online grocery is set to grow by over 50% in the next 3 years. The subscription market has also been growing by 100% year on year and is expected to grow at the same rate. Consumer behavior is also on our side, with veganism expected to be Britain's biggest lifestyle change this year, and 73% of millennials willing to pay extra for personalized products. So where are we now? So to date, we've sold over 9,000 smoothie kits, generated over £40,000 in revenue. We've seen month-on-month growth in sales and are seeing strong customer retention at over 60%. On average, customers spend over £100 with us, and a quarter of our customers spend over 500. So we plan to acquire customers with our content-driven approach and with our recently launched YouTube channel, our blog, and soon-to-be-launched podcast. We're also keen to utilize marketing automation to its fullest, and we see significant opportunities in partnering with like-minded brands in the subscription, fitness, and wellness space. So currently we're raising our seed round.
So is this the first money you've raised then? Is this the very first investment you've had
So
coming in?
it took a little bit of pre-seed. So Milesh, my colleague, initially came on board as an investor,
Yeah.
and then kind of started working part-time in the business, and has kind of been sucked in. So it's now coming on board
Wicked.
full-time after this round.
Perfect. I had a quick look at the pitch. So you're almost halfway in terms of your initial target, which is there. So I think it's always good to see somebody who's got a clear plan of how they're going to use the money. That's reassuring. And also, it is the simplest pitch I've seen in a long time.
Oh, thank you.
So congratulations on that. It's very easy not to get carried away. But look, it's a crowded market from that point of view. So who do you see as your main competitors, and how are you going to either steal market share or address a different part of the market than they're looking at?
So I guess the smoothie market, I would say, is broken down into 3 different segments. So you've got the ready-to-drink, which is the likes of your Innocent and Naked, something that you can buy from the store. And then you've got your kind of box schemes, delivering fresh fruit and veg, the likes of Riverford, Enable, and Cole. And then you've got this new segment, which is where we're at, so the ready-to-blend. And this is kind of almost being created because the other 2 segments weren't really, I guess, servicing consumers, I guess, not, or certainly a certain segment of consumers weren't being serviced as they kind of expected to be. So they're looking for increased transparency and, I guess, increased flexibility. There are others in the ready-to-blend space, new entrants, and they're making good traction. However, we've still got a unique proposition in terms of our organic, seasonal ingredients, also our sustainable credentials, which I think are quite important to our market. And
I think they're very important. So are they real?
yeah,
So any packaging I can send back and you will actually use it again, or will you sort of giggle and put it in the bottom drawer?
So we've got like a phased approach. So currently the packaging is a cardboard box lined in sheep's wool, and then the pouches are delivered in LDP recyclable plastic. So currently you can return your woolen liners free of charge, and we do reuse them, and we've got some which will come back and then back again. Phase 1 for us is replacing the cardboard box and woolen liner with a reusable cool bag. Okay. So it makes it lighter, smaller, and easier to return. And then phase 2 is replacing the pouch. So we're taking it a step at a time, but certainly the vision is 100% reusable. So some innovation then in terms of kind of packaging, because that may well be important to your target market, but also AI capabilities. Come on, that's AI meets bananas. So just tell me what that might mean. How are you going to personalise the product? So I think, again, taking things a step at a time. So phase 1 for us is simply an automatic feedback loop. So QR code on the back of pouches, and therefore, I guess these days, relatively basic algorithms which will take into account previous feedback on your previous box and make sure that your pick list for your next box is tailored according to your preferences. So initially it would be taste, and then over time, I guess our intention is to change the user interface quite considerably. So if you know what you want, you can go on now, as you do now, and just choose the relevant box or plan. If you're not too sure, and certainly we found that 80% of our customers, despite having options, still choose the variety box. And when we kind of probe, it's not because they want the variety necessarily, it's because they're not sure what they should have for their nutrition goals. So the idea is to use build a chatbot kind of interface which guides people to the right kind of plan, and therefore will provide a personalized experience, personalized plan. So this is very much a matter of kind of tagging different recipes with different nutritional attributes. Right. And that's kind of their kind of data-driven approach. Okay. You could call it AI, you don't have to call it AI. I guess it's, yeah. Wicked.
Yeah, sounds good though.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about your zero waste business model, your apple core jam and banana peel chutney?
So currently everything is composted at local allotment, the one that I never actually did anything with.
It's now a compost heap.
It is, yeah, exactly. And so Blake's been working hard quite recently on looking at what else can we do to create, I guess, more value rather than composting these ingredients. So it's kind of been looking around. He's from Australia Woolworths. We spotted banana peel chutney. So I thought, yeah, why not? This is something that we're kind of working on now. Apple core jam, I think we're looking at broccoli stalk chips. So I think these are there's byproducts that we can create from our waste, which creates, I guess, economic value, and it diverts it from, I guess, lower down in the chain. So it kind of makes sense for everyone. So yeah, something that we're working on, keen to kind of build on.
Sounds good. And where do you see the Honestly Good Smoothie Company going in the future?
So I think for us, we're certainly focused on, I guess, delivering on those values. So I think the kind of circular approach is very important to us. I think equally, we're quite keen to leverage data to kind of make our decisions. So I think Milesh often describes that I'm kind of the crazy one that comes up with all the crazy ideas, and he kind of finds the practical solutions. So I think we're kind of leaving it quite, we'd like to make decision making quite impartial, democratized, and listen to the data, listen to our customers. So I think in answer to your question, we have quite a clear vision of what we'd like to kind of build, but equally it's kind of open to change, and we're about serving our customers.
Thank you, Vikesh, for joining us today. I'm afraid that's all we've got time for. Thank you also, Julia, for coming in.
Welcome. Great fun.
Thanks very much for having me on.
If you'd like to find out more about the Honestly Good Smoothie Company, you can do so on Crowdcube's website, which is crowdcube.com.